Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of What's Driving Token Prices. I'm your host, Katie Talati, Director of Research at Arca. For those joining for the first time, I'm responsible for analyzing and identifying digital asset and blockchain opportunities for Arca's funds. As part of our research, my team and I examine token prices and market events that act as catalysts for price change. Based on our research and market events over the past week, here are some notable token price movements and what we think drove those moves. As a reminder, this commentary is not intended to be investment advice, investment research, or a recommendation. Please consult your investment professional for your own circumstances. All right, it has been a busy week as usual, and actually some interesting developments in the crypto market. So we're going to start this week with Maple. So Maple Finance is a decentralized, uncollateralized borrow lend platform. So just this week, one of the largest borrowers on Maple, Orthogonal Trading, defaulted on a $10 million loan that was due to pay back over the weekend. As a result, Maple Finance severed ties with Orthogonal, claiming it had misrepresented its financial status over the last 4 weeks to M11 Capital, which is the loan underwriter that basically decides if Orthogonal was creditworthy. This has actually left Maple with $36 million of outstanding debt. For those unfamiliar with how Maple works, because they use people stake the Maple token as a first loss tranche in the protocol. That token, those are the first hit by the those are the first people hit by the losses. So as a result, the Maple token is actually down 31% for the week. All right, next up, ANKR. So an exploit rocked the liquid staking protocol ANKR last week to the tune of $5 million. An attacker used an exploit in the liquid staking contract on ANKR to mint trillions of BNBC, which is the reward token for staked BNB. So after minting these tokens, the hacker sold them across several venues, effectively draining all liquidity for the token within the BNB chain and crashing the price of BNBC by 99%. So while that wasn't like a large hack necessarily, it definitely was something that was followed on chain by a lot of people. And also as a result of crashing the BNBC token so much, it actually opened up room for another exploit that happened on the BNB chain. With this, the ANKR token is down 8.8% for the week. All right. Next, we have Nexo. So Nexo is a centralized borrow lend platform. They announced this week that they're intending to withdraw from the US after being unable to work with regulators. The company specifically will end support for its Earn product in 8 states. The move comes after centralized lenders and a lot of these Earn programs have suffered heavily following lending blowups from Celsius, 3 Arrow Capital, and Genesis over the past 2 months. So a lot of these Earn programs, if you're not familiar, there'll be a lot of centralized lenders that'll say, hey, deposit your stable coins with us, and we'll give you anywhere from like 8 to 10% APR, which is obviously very enticing to individual users, especially retail. But these programs have come under a lot of scrutiny because a lot of the time the centralized lenders are then going out and lending them to much riskier businesses without really properly disclosing that to customers. So Nexo was operating, like I said, in several US states. They're now going to be withdrawing that program from there. For context, they are based in the UK. Despite this, they are basically flat on the week, up 80 bips. All right, last we got Uniswap. So Uniswap, the decentralized exchange, they announced last week that they're going to launch its NFT trading platform. The interface is a similar look and feel to OpenSea. So if you haven't gone ahead and taken a look, test it out. The trading platform is actually an aggregator of other NFT platforms. So instead of going to, so say you want to buy a specific asset, instead of going to SudoSwap, OpenSea, LooksRare, you can basically see aggregated prices across all of them. So the platform is actually a result of Uniswap's acquisition of Genie, which was an NFT aggregator. So they acquired Genie quite a few months ago, and so this is finally kind of like the spinoff from it. So far, the platform has seen just over 1.2 million in volume, which has just been in the past 7 days. So we expect that to continue. A proposal separately was also posted to Uniswap's governance forum proposing a new fee switch. However, this new fee switch proposes that earnings are retained and not paid out to token holders, as many would have hoped. That's definitely something that's going to be a continuing development, as Uniswap holders have been very anxious to incorporate the fee switch. With all of this, Uniswap is up 2.6% for the week. All right, everyone, that's all I have for you this week. I hope you enjoyed our insights. Tune in here again next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific to hear what's driving token prices.